What's going on, brothers and sisters? Chris here from Namaste Gaming, and today I want to have a quick chat about what Guild Wars 2 could do better. Don't get me wrong, I still love the heck out of the game, and as someone who loves it, I want to see it get even better so it keeps a healthy player base and continues growing. The structure of the game breaks down into three parts: World v World, Structured PvP, and PvE. I'm going to outline what are, in my opinion, the biggest flaws with each, and what I think could be done to improve it. I know a lot of you love the game as much as I do, so feel free to put in your 2 cents in the comments section. So a lot of you guys will remember from my earlier videos that I really liked World v World. It may surprise you then to hear that I've mostly stopped playing it lately. The reason why is my biggest gripe with World v World as a whole. It's too predictable and there's not enough emphasis placed on defense. 90% of my experience in World v World, once people figured it out, was running in circles with a Zerg fighting NPCs and gates, and rarely encountering a lone wolf from another world who we quickly devoured. The enemy forces would just come along behind us and cap back what we took at a slightly slower pace. In short, it turned into farming. So how can they fix it? I'd say the easiest solution would be a two-parter. First, change the point generating mechanic so that newly capped objectives don't generate points for the first, say, 15 minutes that they're capped. Second, increase the amount of points it generates based on how long it's been held. A command post of grizzled veterans is worth more than a rough and tumble field camp. It only makes sense that an established and fortified location would hold a higher value in the war effort. With that change, keeping what you've got becomes paramount, and sacrificing one location to defend another becomes a meaningful choice worthy of a true commander's judgment. Structured PvP is up next on the chopping block. I never got too deep into it myself. I had some fun with it early on, but I've been deep into leveling alts, so it hasn't really been on my agenda. From what I've read though, there are two different sets of problems, one for tournaments and one for casual matches. For tournaments, the issue is that the meta is very focused on defensive builds because of the Conquest game type, and people find that kind of meta very boring. Easy solution here, add more game types. I understand that ANET feels like Conquest is the easiest to balance, but the player base wants things like Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, Payload, etc. And it's hard to disagree with their logic. You guys said you were making the game that the fans want. Well, the fans have spoken. Let's see some new game types. As far as casual matches, these maps were not designed for 8v8. It's zergy and discouraging to players who are new to the PvP side of the game. Drop the casual matches to 6v6 at most, and you'll see an increase in participation and a bit more focus on strategy. Now, finally, PvE. I still love the PvE, probably the most out of any MMO I've played. In my opinion, the biggest flaw is something that was marketed as one of the pluses of the game. The world is too big. There are too many gaps between content areas, and dare I say it, there might even be too much content. I know that might sound kinda crazy, but hear me out. The more content there is across a wider physical area in-game, the less likely you are to run into other players. In a game built around spontaneous impromptu groups dealing with dynamic events, this is not a good thing. This is compounded by the fact that, like many first-time MMO developers, they release too many servers with too low of a cap on each server. The solution is simple. They need to merge some servers. Get more of the population playing together. This is one game where no one should ever feel like they're playing by themselves, yet somehow, that's the most frequent complaint I see. ArenaNet needs to fix this ASAP. They're neutering the best and most beautiful feature of what should be the consensus best MMO of the year. So, here's the good news. ArenaNet has been nothing short of awesome in terms of dealing with the game's issues, and I think it's safe to say that they pay attention to community feedback. If you agree with anything I've said, or if you have your own issues and suggestions, head to the official forums, or to Reddit, or to Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever you like best, and start a dialogue. It's clear these guys want to make this game the best MMO ever, so let's help make that happen. If you agree with anything I've said in the past few minutes, please do me a favor and click the like button and share this with your friends. I really think we as a community can do better with providing feedback to ArenaNet, and I know you guys have it in you to lead the way. If you're new around here, my vids are generally more positive than this, and if you'd like proof of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't worry, there will still be lots more Guild Wars 2 content hitting this channel. I'm not going anywhere. Love y'all. Stay black.